the Facebook Live. You can check it out if you go to the 97 The Tickets Facebook page. Watch what's going on here live in studio. 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136. Tiger opener is an hour away. We'll have it here on 97.1 The Ticket. And today they're going to actually play the game. Gator, I think the Tigers are going to get off to a pretty decent start on this season. If you missed my theory yesterday, it's based upon who they're playing and who those teams are pitching against Detroit. A predominantly right-handed lineup will face a lot of lefties right out of the gate. And you're big on it doesn't matter if they're righty or lefty as long as they can hit. As a general rule, it's easier for the right-hander to hit off the left-hander and the left-hander to hit off the right-hander, et cetera, et cetera. It doesn't always turn out to be the case, but they go lefty-righty, lefty-righty, righty, lefty, 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 and then they have 3 games with the Twins. So I think that this could be a quick start for the Detroit Tigers.
Well, it needs to be. It'd be nice to get off to a good start. I think the fans need that to have some sort of optimism generated, some sort of buzz going on. And we know it's April. April can be real cold to start things off, and it looks like it could be very cold on opening day. And if you want to get people to show up in April, they're in the middle of the week, which is real tough, and they got a whole bunch of 1 o'clock games. You better get off to a hot start.
Well, and here's the other thing, too. I mean, this is supposed to be a crappy division. There have been years in the past where we've talked about this division being better than people realized. I don't expect this to be one of them. That means feast on teams like the White Sox and Twins and take care of business, get some wins here early in the year, and start piling those things up against these kinds of teams. There's no such thing as a critical baseball opener, but you only get so many chances to play the teams in your division. So get off on the right foot. Starts today. Justin Verlander against Quintana, and it gets underway just after 2 o'clock. Now, we're also asking people, getting a lot of feedback via ticket text and the tweets as to why you aren't going to opening day. It looks like they will potentially not sell it out for the first time in 15 years, and kind of been a cool tradition here in Detroit. I mean, it still will be for the people who go. It's just, do you remember get your ticket deposit in and be guaranteed a ticket to opening day? Well, you can get a ticket to opening day right now.
Well, you remember the first year they opened up the park was 2000. The 2003 season, wasn't that the year they lost 119 games? Yeah. It was a horrible year in 2003. This is not anticipated to be a horrible year. I think when all is said and done, it's going to be a sellout for a game. I just have that feeling.
For Friday?
Yeah.
I don't think the weather's going to help. But here's
the weather's not going to help at all, but people will want to go downtown and want to be part of downtown.
From Code, it sucks trying to get to your seat walking through 100,000 drunk people.
There may not be that many this year.
Another tweet. No way I'm spending over $180 with fees for a set of tickets I can get the next day for closer to $50. From Detroit Sports Mafia, no fixed income. From Justin, because I live in Toronto, unfortunately. From Dean on Twitter, isn't it supposed to rain? From Meanest Dad 33, opening day, amateur hour. Oh.
Wow.
From David, because it's an utter disaster of drunks. Went 3 years ago. Section got closed due to vomit. No thanks. From Frank. 85,
why was this section closed? Vomit.
From Frank, $85 is too much. From Mark on Twitter, I was able to get tickets for Sunday's game, 11 rows off the field for $22 a piece. Thought that was really low given it was opening weekend. Let's go to Stacy at Commerce here on 97.1 The Ticket. Hi, Stacy.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up, Stacy?
This is my 38th in a row home opener. I'm 54 years old. We will be down with a couple hundred people in our usual, not usual tailgate, but right out front, doing our barbecue and thing. But the way they marketed this thing, it's you got to buy like a total package, and we're sold out. We can't get them. So I think they're calling their bluff about, hey, everybody's sold out. Well, now they're not.
Right.
And since the weather's being a little bit not cooperative, and in 38 years, we've never been rained out. We've been snowed on. Matter of fact, in 2000, they were dusting the snow off where they were putting the petunias down that morning. So it was a brisk in 2000, but the diehards will be out there.
Stacy, thank you for the phone call.
Well, that they will. We have a couple people that have written into our Facebook page on the Facebook Live we got going right now. Will says, we live in Michigan, deal with the weather, eat 'em up Tigers. And Mary says, there's nothing better than opening day. Love it always. I don't care about the weather.
Do you think that there's people that are having problems rallying to go to opening day because they're depressed about the Tony Romo news today?
Maybe, but that's only made up for the idea that it's quite possible if Dak Prescott gets hurt, that Kellen Moore gets to be the starting quarterback.
Opening day prices have gone up. I can go on Sunday for less than $25 and not have to take the day off work. If the game is earlier in the week, I probably would have gone. Another one, there's 80 other games I can go to for less money and better weather. A lot of these reasons are true, and they were true last year, and they were true the year before, and they were true the year, but like opening day, we've been to a bunch. Guess what? It's often crappy weather, and yes, it's always more expensive.
Right.
These are not new reasons.
Right.
These are reasons why you wouldn't go to opening day every year. This year, there's people who've gone in the past that are choosing not to go.
Things that have changed over the last 5 years or so is that now they kind of close off that whole downtown area where the Grand Circus Park is, where our station's usually thrown a party there and or been part of the big sponsors of the big partying going on there. That's been cool. But if the weather is going to be windy and 40, it's going to really put a damper on things.
248-539-9797. As far as on the field, Gator, you know, it's a weird team. It's a weird relationship right now between the team and the fans as far as expectations. I find that Brad Ausmus isn't the most compelling guy in terms of fan confidence. He doesn't instill confidence. Does that make him a bad manager? Not necessarily. I think Stan Van Gundy instills confidence, says things that are on people's minds, maybe to the detriment of his basketball team. But Ausmus is so damn bland that he never really says anything that gets people behind him as a manager. I don't really care what they say. Are you doing the job? And quite frankly, the last 2 years, they haven't done the job. I was a little surprised they picked up the option. I was done with him last year. I don't think he's a bumbling idiot, though. I mean, a lot of people think he's a bumbling idiot, but I'm looking for somebody that can inspire a group to achieve more than they have the last 2 years.
Well, I saw something over the weekend about Brad Ausmus where people thought, somebody said, I forget who said this. I mean, it had to be on Sportsworks on Fox. I'm thinking that's where it was from. And it said the difference with Brad Ausmus now compared to Brad Ausmus in years past. Actually, it was Tom Gage that said this on Sports Final Edition.
Okay.
The former writer with the news and a Hall of Fame writer. He said the difference is when Brad first came here, he was like former player Brad Ausmus. So he still had that player's mentality. And we know how close in age he is to some of these guys.
Right.
But now that he's grown into this role 3 years down the road, he's more of a manager. It's a big year for him. But would expect to see different things and a different way of handling things because now he's got 3 years under his belt, knows what works, what doesn't work, more importantly. I think he's done a good job of kind of isolating himself from all the outside noise.
I would agree with that.
And I think he's been a very even-keel guy from day one, which I think bodes well for him. But when you started from day one, when you have no managerial experience, people might take that the wrong way. Now that you've got the experience, people will look at it and say, wow, what a wise guy. He's not a wise manager. He's not flying off the handle here. It's a big year for him. It's the final year of his contract. Obviously, he wants to still manage. I think the organization has confidence in him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. No, a couple of years ago, I was ready halfway through the season. I was done. Let's move on. And it didn't happen. So they're sticking with him. But this is a team that is going to have to lean on some experience that he's got and that the veteran players have to get through some of the growing pains they're going to have with what's happening in center field and what's happening with the rotation. You've got three guys in that rotation that are, effectively rookies. Well, Fulmer had a rookie season last year, but the others are rookies.
Which means they get to rely on their stellar bullpen.
Well, that's not Brad Ausmus's fault. That's an Al Avila thing.
But therein lies why I think this team has a ceiling. God, I want to have a good bullpen. Just like once in the next few years.
Ken mentions this on Facebook, and I think it's a brilliant comment. Unless they start serving asparagus at Comerica Park, I'm out.
My man. 97.1 the ticket.